Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel APM Guide. As a part of our APM capability series, in this video, I'll provide the complete details on APM default capabilities. Okay, so these are the points we are going to discuss under this video. That is, what are the default capabilities, where to define the default capabilities, benefits of using default capabilities, and use case scenarios and how to override these capabilities from the script. Okay, so first of all, we understand what are the default capabilities. Okay, see, APM defines capabilities or the way to pre-configure the capabilities that will run automatically, be merged with these with every new session request unless explicitly overridden in the request. Okay, and these capabilities are defined under the APM server configuration file. Okay, it may be a .json file or .ml file or .javascript file, or we can pass these default capabilities by a command line here. So what exactly default? See, when I'm launching the APM server, okay, I want to make some settings, some capabilities I want to predefine it here. Okay, so where I can predefine it here. So when we launching the APM server, okay, we specify some set of capabilities. Okay, that capabilities are known as a default capability, predefined capabilities. Okay, and we can define these capabilities by two ways. One is by the command line and by the APM server configuration file. Okay, so both ways I'll show to you how to configure this one. Okay, and next one is the default capabilities are the base capabilities applied automatically to every test session, because we are defining these capabilities when we are launching the APM server. So automatically it applies for each and every session. Okay, why you use this one? Okay, they reduce duplication when running the multiple tests with a shared setting and working in the team project with consistent baseline config. Okay, so when you are working in a project, okay, I want to make sure that everybody has used the set of configuration, the set of capabilities, okay, predefined it here. So I can create these default capabilities in my configuration file. I can provide this configuration file for the whole team so that for every test, okay, the predefined configurations, the predefined capabilities will be same for each and every test and each and every team member. Okay, so this is the default capability. Okay, the next one is the way to define default capabilities. As I told, we can define these default capabilities under the command line or when using the configuration file with the APM server. Okay. So next we'll come back to benefits and reusable to all these things. First of all, we will create the command line default capabilities here. Okay. So open the command line here and type APM. So here I want define default capabilities for automation name, platform name, APM no reset, APM new command timeout. So these four capabilities I want to define as predefined, okay, with the APM server. And I'm using the command line here. Okay. So we had to use augment DC here. Hyphen DC space colon flower back open. Okay. And close. This is the JSON format. Okay. The first one. Okay. Automation name. Automation name. So what is automation name I am using here? Okay, that is a UI automator 2. UI automator 2. Okay, this is the first capability. Almost a capability I use the platform name. Platform name. Okay, and I want to mention this platform name as Android. Android. And one more capability I want to define is the APM no reset. Okay, this one is a boolean value. I say as true. Okay. So one more capability I want to define is the appium new command timeout. Okay. And I will give as 90 seconds. Okay. So this was I want to define the default capabilities. So we need to add the backward slash here wherever it required, expressed with a double quotation here. Okay, just a minute. Okay, place my cursor here. So there is a double quotation here, backslash. So here and here, same thing I had to use here and backslash double quotation. Otherwise, it throws a error. Okay, so providing the JSON format before the double quotation. Same with yes. Okay, so Appium hyphen DC. If you mention the argument as DC means hyphen DC means default capabilities. Okay, so here I'm mentioning as automation name as UI automated 2 and platform name Android. See, we have to be very careful with the capabilities name here. Platform name in these caps. Okay, and Android Appium reset all these caps. Okay, and this is true. And appium new command, C should be caps. Okay, command timeout. Okay, and it is 90 seconds I have given here. Okay, here I run this command here. So first you are creating the default capabilities by command line here. So run this command. See, the Appium server is started with these default capabilities. Okay, if you read the log, okay, welcome to Appium source version. Default capabilities which will added to each request unless overridden by the desired capabilities. Here I have defined 4 capabilities. That is UI automated to Android through and 90. Okay, automation name UI automated to platform name Android Appium no reset through Appium new command timeout 90. Okay, these are the default capabilities I have started when my Appium is launched. Okay, so if I go to the script, go to the Eclipse IDE, select the sample Java, any one here. So here I had already defined the platform name. I don't want this one because already I had defined this in my predefined here. Okay, and device name I not defined here. I need to add here. I want to override here. Okay, so here in my command prompt, I'm using new command timer as 90. Okay, here I want to make it 120 seconds. Okay, go back here and use set new command timeout. Okay, duration dot of seconds, say 120. Sorry, 120 seconds. So here, what I am doing, I am overriding it here. Okay, I am showing an example of overriding here. Okay, otherwise, if you not mention, it's not a problem because I will not override first. Okay, I will just create. I will open. I will use the default command line, default capabilities here. Okay, which are defined in the command line with the Appium server. Okay, my Appium server is launched here. Okay, with the default capabilities. Okay, I'm just launched. I just run this one. Okay, here I want to print the session ID. Okay, so my embed is running now. Just click on just run as. Now the session ID has to be created and it has to print the session ID here. Okay, then we will go through the logs. Yeah, this ID is generated here. So it's working fine. So if you see here, when the logs, it has mentioned default capabilities, all these things. When the request has sent from the client to the server with the capabilities, automatically these are added here. You see here, platform name Android, automation may UI automator 2, okay, which I have mentioned in my script here. Okay, I have mentioned in my script. If you see here, I have mentioned here, but I have defined, predefined in the APM server. When I watch the APM server, I already predefined it here. So it will they consider these capabilities and send a request for the server to create a session here. And here I am using the new command term 90 here. So I'm not overriding here. So how to override here? So as you see in APM, we can able to override this default capabilities. Okay, here it is 90. I want to make it to 120 here. So close this APM server. Okay, okay, and now I launch once again the Appium server with these settings. Okay, and new command line is 90, right? I want to override here. Okay, go back to the our Eclipse. Here I will say new command time was what 120 seconds. Save it and once again run it here. If you see the log file, it says new command timeout is 90. Now I want to override here. So not only this one, you can override any capabilities here. Okay, so I want to override this new command timeout from 90 to 120 seconds. So run it once again. So we'll see the logs. In logs, it will mention. Okay, so maybe server is running now. So session ID is generated. Okay, now we'll go to the logs. So that's why we had to analyze the logs very, very carefully here. So already I made to a video on how to analyze the APM server logs here. Okay, so just you go to the logs. Okay, here you see the capabilities. The predefined capability, new command time of 90, but in the script, I'm overriding these default capabilities. So if you see this capability request, it says APM colon new command timeout 120 means from 90 to 120 is changed means I'm overriding. Okay, no need to worry that when I predefine the capabilities, it will same for test session. I cannot be able to override. You can override wherever it needed. You can override it here. So this is allowed. Overriding is allowed here. Okay, and from 90 to 120 it changed. So if you see the logs, it says new command timeout 120. Okay, this is how we can able to override these default capabilities. Okay, and this is from the command line here. So command line we are seeing it here, right? Close it here, just say. So command line, I can able to define the default capability by using the argument called DC. So use -DC APM space -DC, use set of capabilities in a JSON format. So we have seen this capability in a JSON format. Now I want to demonstrate this same default capabilities from a JSON. Okay. So close this command prompt and already I created the JSON file. Okay, so I have saved this JSON file in the config file. Okay, and let's go in the System Explorer. So here we have one file called apm-config JSON file. Just click on this one. So if you go to the JSON file, I have created a block under the server block. Okay, here I mentioned an automation name, UI automator 2, platform name Android, APM no reset true, and here I mentioned as 120. Here I want to make, I will make as 50. Okay, to see the difference. Okay, save. Okay, and already I have created a video how to configure this APM configuration file in the JSON format. There I have gone through all this step by step field how to create this configuration file here. Now I have updated the new command term S50, right, and just save it here. Okay, close this one. Now previously we have launched the APM server and provide debug capabilities in a command line here. Here I will launch the APM server with the configuration file. So we need to provide the path. So copy the path, copy the command prompt, and give this one, and I had to give the name of the command configuration file here. So before that one, I forgot. Before that one, I need to do the I had to give the argument here. I forgot. Say apm space double hyphen config space. Now I want to give the path of the configuration file. Okay, and name. That give me the name is the apm hyphen config dot the extension is JSON. Okay, now I am launching the Appium server with predefined arguments where I have created the default capabilities also. So click enter. Just a minute. Okay, I have given the Appium. See, typo error. Just a minute. I have given 3 P's here. Okay, just remove this one. Typo. Launch the Appium server with the default capabilities. With the default capabilities by using the configuration file. If you see this one, here it says default capabilities which will be added to each request unless overridden by the default capabilities. Default capability, automation name, UI automator 2, platform name Android, no reset true, and I have given the 50 right new command time of 50 here. Okay, the same thing is reflected here. Now, what I will do, I will start the this one, and here I not override here. So once again, I'm doing it here. Okay. So because I show with the command line, now I will display here. Okay, just say start. So I'm not overriding here. Okay, so it will generate the session ID and then to print it in the console. Okay, so if you go to this log, so timeout is 50, right? See if you see here, oh, it's not printed here. So, but the timeout is 50. Okay, and I want to override here. Okay, so close the server. Okay, once again run it and the JSON file. So it is 50, command line is 50, and go back to our Eclipse, and now I will want to override. So I want to override this capabilities. I mentioned this capability as 100 seconds. Okay, from 50 to 100 seconds it will increase. Just click on run as. If you see, now the new command timeout has to be overridden from 50 to 100. Open, close the server. Okay, now if you see the default capability, the APM colon new command timeout is 50. But if you see the request from the client to server, it is changed to APM colon new command timeout 100. Okay, so this is how we can able to override the capability. So we can understand, right? We have how to create a default capabilities from the command line and how to create a default capabilities from the JSON, okay, and how to overridden these capabilities, okay. So all this we have understand here. So next one is the benefits of using this default capability. So it is reusability, simplifying the test code, avoiding the misconfiguration, easier for teams, okay, clean JSON, okay. So when we had to use, suppose see in my case, when I'm working one of the project, okay, I have working on one app. This is only for Android. Okay, the app is developed for only for Android. So in this case, the platform name will be Android. Okay, and automation name will be UI automated too. So why not? I can predefine this capability in a default capabilities. Whenever I'm launching the APM server, automatically this two capabilities will be predefined because my app is only applicable for Android OS. Okay, that is one of the case where I have used it personally. Okay, and use cases already told, right? Android only project. Okay, use UI automated tool. Okay, and I can save this log file, configuration file with my team so that all the scripts will be predefined with these default capabilities, and each team member will use same default capabilities here. Even the new command timeout also I can mention it here. Okay, just for example, I have used new command timeout. Okay, you can use as per your requirement. You can override it here. Okay, this is allowed in the Appium default capabilities. So this is all about the Appium default capabilities. Okay, and I have uploaded this JSON in the GitHub. Okay, and apart from that JSON, I have you can able to see all my work related to the Appium, and you can just go to the GitHub, and apart from that one, you can see my work in the blog also. I'll provide the link and in the description. Okay, if you like this video, please click on like button and subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching.